Now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
All right. Welcome in. Consumer Quarterback Show, helping you win in any marketplace. We want you to save our hotline numbers in your phone. It's 813-670-7372. That's our consumer advocate hotline. And Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com is our website. Make sure you save that in your favorites as well. Consumerqb.com is where you want to save, and you can see all of our 80-plus show partners, CPAs, financial advisors, attorneys, all types of folks that are going to help you understand more about your real estate, your business, your health, your nutrition, and that's what we put this show together for, to make you just a bit more street smart out there. We don't care if you're climbing a corporate ladder, if you throw a ladder in your truck on the way to work, this show's for you. We're going to help you win, and we want you to save our hotline number, 813-670-7372.
Here's my number, so call me maybe.
813-670-7372, and also consumerqb.com. And Intelligent Talk Radio, I've got some intelligent folks here in studio with me today. John Grant, Eagled LED Lighting. Welcome in, sir.
Thanks for having me back.
Hey, my pleasure. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah. Great to be here.
The baby
Great
boot
to
looks
see
good
you.
on you, man.
You like it?
Yeah, it brings out
I
your
see you
skin
shaved.
tone.
I shaved.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Our team won the national championship, so I promised I would shave.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. That just happened?
Last week, yeah.
Congrats,
Whole
man.
week, yeah.
Very cool.
We were yakking about it on the show on Sunday, so.
On Sunday, yeah, Patrick and the fellas and Scott.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Nice job, bro. Good job. Leo Cannyn in the house as well. Principal Project Manager, Barrel Engineering. Welcome in, sir.
Yeah, thanks for having me back. I'm looking forward today to talking about the two books that we published within the last couple of years, one of which is a home maintenance guide, and the other one's on how to make your home safer, which actually ties into John and Julian very well today.
That's right. Yeah, being safe. That's something that we see out there. You know, I hear these stories that happen, and you know, one that comes to mind was a pest control story. The family tried to do it on their own. They put too much underneath the home. It rained, and the fumes came up and killed the whole family. I mean, there's so many different things that, as a consumer advocate, we take serious around here. You know, we laugh and joke a little bit about things, but it's really, you know, when you look at protecting your assets, protecting your family, you look at real estate concerns, you look at all these different nutrition and health areas as well. You know, that's why we set this show up almost 4 years ago. We want you to think about this show as the hub of your financial will, your business will, your health will. And I'm the quarterback on the team, longtime football player, played on the inaugural football team at the University of South Florida. Go Bulls! And we quarterbacked a lot of our teams growing up, but now we're quarterbacking transactions for our sellers and buyers, investors in our real estate business. We're quarterbacking introductions to all of our expert contributors, the finest folks in all of Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region that we've assembled and we've vetted, and we bring on the show to provide you this content to help you win, to help you understand your buying decisions out there and things happening in the marketplace. And I want to give a shout out to our friends over at Chill Therapy in South Tampa, right on McDill in South Tampa. They've got cryotherapy machines, Chill Therapy, and they also have the flotation therapy, which was really cool. I went in this weekend. I saw Brian and some of the fellas down there. Flotation therapy is a powerful tool for relaxation, pain relief, better sleep, and overall total body wellness. 60 minutes for $49 down there at Chill Therapy. So we really enjoy that. A lot of the athletes have enjoyed that as well. Have you ever tried that, cryotherapy, any of that kind of stuff?
I've heard all about it, though. That's crazy.
That's pretty cool, man.
Okay, jump on in here. We're going to freeze your body.
Yeah, we're just drop you down to 220.
Just before you freeze.
Negative 220, yeah. Well, you can only be in there for like 2.5-3 minutes, and then you're done.
So it's $49 for 2.5-3 minutes?
Well, no, that's the cryo. The cryo is a little bit different. 2 sessions for $39 for
Gotcha.
the cryo. But the flotation therapy was cool. So what that is, it's kind of like a little, almost like a little pod deal. See that little pod there? And what you do is you
Looks
just...
like a toilet.
Well, you just float
agree
in
with
it.
that.
It's like a little spa.
The toilet pops up, you jump in.
Yeah, kind of. But what you do is you have water in there, and then they pour like 20 bags of salt. So not only are you benefiting from the salt, but also it's buoyant. It makes your body more buoyant. So you literally just lay back and float without having to worry about your nostrils or your mouth going
I
underwater.
wish I was you.
And
Where
you
do you
meditate.
find this time?
Well, that was Saturday morning, man. I make time for my health.
So Saturday,
what else do you have in this world?
Saturday morning, I was at ESPN getting teed off on by some team from Atlanta.
Nice.
That we had to fight back to win the championship with the kids.
Nice.
So, you know, I would have much rather been floating in the toilet like you.
Come on now. You can't say toilet. We got sponsors now. We got partners.
My bad.
Yeah. But
In the cryotherapy flotation
listen,
machine.
I love your decision to coach kids, man. I love that. That was a big part of my life growing up with my dad. It was the coach, you know, the quarterback on the team, and we'd run around and we'd beat a lot of teams that we weren't supposed to beat. And so it sounds like you're carrying that tradition with the Tampa boys here, right?
I love these boys. You know,
Yeah.
I've had a lot of them for years, as you know, and
Yeah.
we've been flying high for years, top, 5-10 in the nation. And it's nice when they go out and win something like an AAU championship where teams are coming from all over the country.
That's
and
cool, man.
It's good stuff.
What age group was that?
10U.
The 10.
We're 10s now, I believe it.
Wow. So it's 10 and under. Is that like they do in soccer? It's like U8 or
Yeah,
U10?
everybody's 10. I mean,
Okay.
you're not going to roll out there with a bunch of 8, 9-year-olds. You're coming.
Well, unless you're that
everybody's
one
bringing
team.
their horses.
Remember that one team that
That's
got caught a few
15-year-olds?
years ago?
Yeah.
They got caught in the
I
Little
think
League
that
World
happens.
Series.
We lost a couple years ago to Team Mexico. I swear them boys were like 12 at the time. We were 8.
They had that happen down in Immokalee too in high school. They had a kid that was like 25 years old. He faked his birth certificate.
Bro, we
in
had a
Immokalee.
kid right here at TBYFL. You know, I coached, with the Falcons, the Oldsmar Falcons and TBYFL.
Yeah.
And we had a kid 2 years ago that was, it wasn't even close. He was like 22
Yeah.
playing like on the varsity team, which is like 13, 14-year-olds.
But he had that complexion and
Oh, he was killing it. He was like unbelievable. He was all world.
Didn't have much hair though. So he had that kind of.
No, bro, have you seen some of the 14-year-olds these days?
Oh yeah, I imagine.
Yeah. Will you imagine?
With the hormones and the food and
wait till your
stuff.
daughter gets a little bit older. You'll
Yeah.
recognize, like, wait a minute.
Yeah. No,
You can't be going out with 20-year-old men like, oh, he's 13 with full beard. He's got more hair on his face than me.
All right, topic change here. So we've got John Grant, Eagled LED Lighting.
See how
And,
easy we get off task?
Yeah, hey, we got to pay the bills a little bit too. But so John Grant's Eagled LED Lighting, helping people understand more about how to utilize some of the newer technologies, and really LEDs. Not even that much new technology. I mean, they've been around for a while, but you have the best in the business. You're helping business owners save money. You're helping homeowners save money, and the LED business is, something that definitely we want our listeners to consider.
Well, it's refining. I think the commercial market's going to hit, or the consumer market's going to hit the wall eventually. Everybody's replacing with bulbs. Engineering wise, it ain't going to last. You can't put components, encapsulated inside of a unit and it lasts long term. But
Right.
in the short term, it's a tremendous advantage in reducing the wattage. So we're a big push over the last probably, 4 or 5 years. In the last few years that, you and I have been talking, has really been in the fixtures and luminaires.
Mm-hmm.
And so, as the technology advances, there's, just a lot more stuff that can be done. As we talked about back this year in January, we launched our premium shoebox, which, we have a standard shoebox, which, or street light or whatever you want to call it, that's very popular with the municipalities and, government folks and whatnot across the country. But now with the new technology and the dimming capabilities, it allows us to dial dim the light down 20-30% of the original value with a motion sensor on it, so that it actually in rural, government, locations where maybe they've got 10 cars that go on this, street or highway, from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. and they run studies on that, where now the lights will be dimmed down to, 30%. And when a car comes, they pop back up to 100%. So those types of things are starting to come to the forefront, where a few years ago when we used to tell people about, motion sensors for, say, the high bay lights inside of their warehouses. So only when the forklift went down, like an Amazon or, a Rooms to Go, only when the forklift went down an aisle would the lights go on. That was huge for them. They thought that was insane. And they've started to actually implement it now and are just blown away by the savings. It's not only the 80%, 70% reduction in the power, but now you have this additional reduction, because you're really not using it 70-80% of the time. They can't be in all those aisles all the time.
Yeah, so not only is it more efficient, but it's not being used because you're utilizing the timers and the techniques and the other motion sensors as well. And I like the tie-in here as well. Leo, you talked about in some of the show notes, you talked about some of the books that Beryl has published. You talk about building science. I like that term. So building science kind of lends itself to what John's talking about there.
Yeah, I mean, we talk a little bit about what's known as the stack effect, and that's the way that hot and cold air interact within your house. And if you have any holes in your insulation and your sidings, if your attic doesn't have an access door, what you're doing is you're allowing that warm air to infiltrate into your house, so it increases your cooling bills. The other thing that you don't realize is when you have like 15 lights in your kitchen and they're all on, those are emanating a lot of heat. So if you can switch those over to LED, then you're using a lot less power, which means you're generating a lot less heat.
Talking my language.
Yeah.
A lot of times light itself is a byproduct of energy.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to diminish the energy, and with these LED bulbs, we can still get the same amount of luminaires or lumens, as they call it, or candle light. We still get that with the same intensity, but we're using a lot less electricity. And then those old can lights, those just cause fires all the time. I feel like every time I'm on your show, I'm talking about how your house is going to kill you. But we did publish a book. Hopefully this is on the camera. But it's our home maintenance guide. We give it to all of our clients at the end of the inspection.
Very nice.
And the back of the book specifically talks about energy efficiency, life expectancy tables, how to make your home safer and more energy efficient, lower your electric bills. And we talk quite a bit about the use of LED lights to do that.
Excellent. Yeah, so we're going to have more from our expert contributors here in studio. Also, we're expecting a call-in from Julian Correa. He's the owner of Nightspeed Moving, our moving partner, and you're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're going to help you win no matter what you're facing. Giving a shout-out to the Maids Cleaning Service. They do a great job cleaning our real estate properties. 24-hour, 100% satisfaction guaranteed by the Maids Cleaning Service. And we've got a feel-good story coming up as well, and more from our expert contributors. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Enjoy tranquil seclusion in an eco-lover's paradise. Paddling through the mangroves where the only sounds you'll hear are the sounds of nature. Because you deserve to relax on vacation, visit Pasco County, Florida.
consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rhymes here, Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty, and a top listing agent in Tampa Bay, looking to list your real estate properties. If you want to profit more on the sale of your real estate, we would love to talk to you about some of our unique strategies that we employ to help our sellers sell faster, more efficiently, and for more money, utilizing processes that other companies cannot use. We have a couple of examples of that here. Now, we've got a hot property over in Pinellas County, 380 Bridle Pathway, Tarpon Springs. This is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath property in the Keystone subdivision here. It's $299,000. Actually, we just reduced down to $290,000, I believe, on this one. 1,808 square feet, pool home, fenced-in backyard, great buying opportunity, close to Brooker Creek Elementary and East Lake High. Also, 10616 Cape Hatteras Drive in Tampa, Palm Bay, this is phase 2. So it's a gated community within a gated community. Super security, family friendly here. Lovely Mediterranean 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath home with a pool and a spa on a conservation area. $388,000 for almost 3,000 square feet. So we just listed or just reduced this property. 2 great, beautiful properties, Platinum MVP Realty and beautiful real estate here in Tampa Bay. And giving a big shout out to Signature Massage and Facial Spa here in Tampa Bay. Early bird rates 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Monday through Thursday. You get a 1-hour sweetest massage, $39.95. And also, they are located in the Town and Country area, 11248 West Hillsborough Avenue, next to LA Fitness. Make sure you let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Give them the Real Estate Quarterback code, or RELAX is the code. Signature Massage and Facial Spa. No contracts or memberships. And you got all types of different massages and other therapies. Facial spa, facial treatment, spa services, additional therapies like reflexology, cupping, lymphatic drainage, aromatherapy, waxing, and so much more. Signature Massage and Facial Spa. Make sure you let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. And we're back here in studio helping you win in any marketplace, making sure you're just a bit more street smart when you listen to this show. And we want to make sure you engage with us at 813-670-7372. Really proud. Last week we had a record number of calls, people calling in asking for credit advice. Some of our rent versus own analysis that we were offering with Mario Larrea on the show as well, our mortgage partner. And a lot of folks dialing in and getting that advice and taking action on goals that they have set in their sights. So we're back here in studio. John Grant, Eagled LED Lighting, is in the house. Also, Leo Kane, Principal Project Manager, Barrel Engineering. And we're expecting a call in as well from our moving partner, Julian Correa, owner of Night Speed Moving. All right, so we're back here in studio. Let's go back to John here. So, John, we look at, here we are in 2017. So, how you think at some point the businesses that are running the old electrical, old wiring, old lighting are going to, upgrade and get onto the LED bus. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, we're just eons away from that happening, unfortunately. But at the same time, it is part of the process. You know what I mean? So Department of Energy estimates $300 billion in LED sales between now and 2030.
Wow.
So, and currently we're at 5% saturation. That's their report. You know? So they'll have a new report coming out this year, I'm sure. But, it's gone from over the last 5 years, 1 to, 2 to 3 to 5, it's just it's a process. But if you think about it, that's hundreds of thousands of businesses, so we're long stretch out.
What about the federal government?
What about them?
Are they spending money in this area?
Yeah. I mean, we've done a bunch of embassies. We just finished off the embassy in Kabul. We've done several naval bases. We've done some United Nations stuff. We did an embassy in Lomé. I mean, it's like the painting where someone takes the paintbrush and just throws the paint, and that's art. That's kind of what's really going on right now with LED. There's no rhyme or reason why who does what. We walk in facilities where they just replaced all of their high bays with T5s 2 years ago. So they want to reap that ROI over the next 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 years. So they love the LED concept, but they're just not there. What's really pushed us over the edge over the last couple of years in our growth and how we've gone from 30 reps 2 years ago to 350 reps, throughout North America now is the efficiency factor. As we've invested in better quality, and we talk about raw materials, like we're buying out of bin 10, it's the highest, potential of buying your raw materials. And, Cree might make a chip in bin 1, they make a chip in bin 5, and they make a chip in bin 10. But there's a huge difference in the price difference and, the ability for these lights to produce, so many lumens per watt and efficiency standards and maintain their color, CCT, and, things that matter. Because at the end of the day, you can have a light last 50,000 hours, but it starts turning yellow in 8 months. What's the value?
Yeah.
Go look at the gas station on the corner here locally of Tampa Road and Racetrack on one side of the street, and then the other side. One side's got 3,000 Kelvin, the other side's got 5,000 Kelvin. Somebody was a moron, didn't understand what they were doing, and talked the guy at 3,000 Kelvin into a warm color light for exterior lighting, which is a security lighting also, and also shows what your product is and brings the valuation. We're across the street at 5,000 Kelvin. It's bright, sharp, clean, crisp. What is recommended for exterior lighting? But again, if you don't know what you're doing,
right?
If you haven't been doing this for 20 years like us, you're lost. So, for me, it's not going to be a quick process for these businesses to change over, but there's going to be a lot of fixing and makeups and redos because people are going to jump in the wrong direction, not really know what they're doing or getting, and put themselves into a vulnerable spot over something that should be so simple.
Yeah, good, better, and best in any industry. That's how I talk about it when I'm talking real estate with people. Is there, there's good, better, and best, and unfortunately, in times like this, the market's booming. People are seeing it. Leo, you're probably seeing this happen.
Well, you probably got a bunch of people jumping into the real estate. Oh, I'm going to be a real estate guy now.
That's it.
We're going to be gold, platinum MVP realty, and we're and they don't realize that your brand is like built over time and has success and has track record and history, and that's where we come from. You go to our website, you see Ford, Toyota, you see top Fortune 100 companies. We're all over the country. Our own guys. They're not distributors or suppliers or we make it, we install it, we sell it, we control the whole process from beginning to end. Right here in Tampa, Florida.
And that's pretty cool, man. Helping the local economy here as well. So you're building it here in Tampa, distributing. A lot of your sales is based out of here, but you guys are in multiple states.
We have to have a big office and warehouse facility and all the staff here to maintain, hundreds of reps nationwide. So it is a boom for us. And also for years now, we've been helping the local community. You've known studios that we've done and businesses and properties, and we're proud of that. We're proud of the money that we save, and we're proud of the solution that we provide. Yeah,
absolutely. So let's go back to Leo here as well. So Leo, what are you seeing out there with the marketplace? What's happening in your space?
I mean, inventory is still at a record low for Florida. I think we're still at 2.2 months inventory, which means that if you listed your house today, by the time 2.5 months go by, you have a check in hand. Like the properties you mentioned earlier today probably won't even be available by the end of next week.
Right.
That's how fast real estate's moving. We continue to see that. We continue to see people rushing to do their own rehabs, their own flips, not properly following the maintenance guide when they're redoing their own houses because they don't have one because they didn't have an inspection from us. But they're cutting too many corners. We're seeing a lot of corners being cut because everyone's scared the bottom's going to fall out of the market in the near future. So they're rushing all these rehabs, and good contractors are hard to find right now. They're all busy.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you find at these times of the boom is that the contractors, the labor force, and even I've heard talks of when some of the money that Trump's spending is going to allegedly kick in from the infrastructure, that there's going to be such a strain on raw materials as well.
Yeah, they always say there'll be a strain on raw materials. It's just a way for suppliers to raise their prices.
Right.
I mean, last year when we had the Hurricane Matthew come through Florida, there was a big push that the shingle manufacturers were going to raise their shingle pricing. they've been planning to raise their pricing for a while. They just needed an excuse to do it. So
yeah, exactly. You look at that and you think about the gas and oil industries and how those play into that. But maybe when we come back, let's talk a little bit about where we see the market going, what we see happening, because some folks I'm listening to, talking to, are saying that there might be some market disruptions. We're not calling it a crash, but I'll give you what I'm hearing, and let's talk about that when we come back as well. And more from John Grant, Eagle LED Lighting, and Leo Kane, Principal Project Manager with Barrel Engineering, and also Julian Correa, owner of Night Speed Moving. He's going to be coming in to the studio as well, or calling into the studio, that is. And we're going to have the top 5 best-selling books in history, as well as our feel-good story of the week and our Tell Me Something Good segment. Woman moves into small apartment so family in need can use her family-sized home. And we're giving a big shout-out to Brio Tuscan Grill at the International Plaza in Tampa, 2223 North West Shore Boulevard. Brio Tuscan Grill is located next to the Renaissance Tampa International Plaza. And at Brio Tuscan Grill and International Plaza, you will discover Italian menu drinks, cozy atmosphere, and awesome service. And we love going and having a meal over at Brio Tuscan Grill, one of our restaurant partners here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Don't touch that dial. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Get in touch with Brandon online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty, helping you win in any marketplace. That is the goal of our show. Over 80 show partners now, and we want to make sure you save our hotline number in your phone. At some point, you're going to need it. 813-670-7372.
Here's my number, so call me maybe.
813-670-7372. ConsumerQB.com. ConsumerQB.com. Giving a big shout out to Felicia Lacaille with Healthy Gourmet, organic veggies, natural proteins, delivered fresh 3 times a week, and meal plans starting at only $90 per week. Optimal fuel, optimal performance. Felicia Lacaille, longtime friend of the program here. Healthy Gourmet, food delivery service, organic veggies, natural proteins delivered. I love it when Monday, Wednesday, Friday roll around. I got a new shipment or delivery of my awesome organic foods, and real excited about the relationship there. And we'd love for you to give her a call or shoot us a message, and we'll put you in contact with Felicia Lacaille, Healthy Gourmet. All right, we're back here in studio, hoping you win in any marketplace. Brandon Rhymes here. Got a couple of hot listings I want to let you know about. 701 East Crenshaw Street in Tampa. This is in Harmony Heights, Seminole Heights area here in Tampa. It's 3-bedroom, 2-bath property, remodeled, worth the look. It's a pool home, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, approximately 2,300 square feet, located in Seminole Heights area, and it's a great buying opportunity. No HOA or CDD in this community. $254,000 just reduced as well for a nice pool home with a fenced-in backyard. 7657 132nd Way in Seminole in Pinellas County, Whispering Forest, 4 bedrooms, 3-bath, $399,000 just reduced as well. And it's a beautiful pool home here with no HOA, CDD on a cul-de-sac. Great buying opportunity. Compliments of Platinum MVP Realty. In studio today, we've got John Grant, Eagled LED Lighting, as well as Leo Kane. He's a principal project manager with Barrel Engineering. And we have some feel-good stories coming up as well. Woman moves into a small apartment so family in need can use her family-sized home. And we're also going to go over the top 5 best-selling books in history. All right, so let's go back to Leo here. So, Leo, tell us a little bit more about Barrel Engineering and how you can help our listeners out there.
I just have a question. Is my book on the list?
The book is not on the top 5 in
Absolutely
history,
not.
but it should be. Man.
Really?
I'll tell you what, it should be, bro.
Oh, I have a long ways to go then. Hopefully you have volume numbers there too. But yeah, I mean, we help people out all the time. Last couple of times up on the show, I talked about room additions, remodels inside your house, how we can come out and do designs and plans.
Right.
We can also come out there and evaluate your home if you think it is crumbling, if there was a fire, if you did have that disaster. And then the benefit is we're going to give you a book on how to make your home even better, saving energy efficiency tips. Big ones that I like to talk about, a little bit on how we don't have to come out to your home for this, but I mean something like turning your water heater off during the day. You'll save 20 to 30% of your electric bill. Getting a programmable thermostat and using it so when everyone's not in the house isn't cooling as much as when you're home. You still want to have it running during the day, otherwise you end up with higher humidity, mold, mildew. But it doesn't need to be set for like 72 when no one's in the house for most of the day.
Typically like 78, bump it up to 78 or something.
Yeah, usually during the day I bump mine up to 82.
Yeah.
And then at night I'm at like at 76.
Yep.
That's usually the range that I'm at.
Yep.
I mean, I've read statistics with the different lighting and with running your AC. For every degree you use your AC, either colder or hotter, depending on the time of the year, you're looking at a 10% swing in your electric bill.
Yeah, every degree, absolutely, and you know, when you look at, let's talk about this because we live in an area where there's sinkholes, there's potential, you know, even in some properties I've had in the past, we've talked about where there's a root that may cause a little structural damage. Let's talk about that when you look at potential for sinkholes or even root damage on a structure of a property. What are the considerations and what should we think about?
With the sinkholes, I mean, it's a real concern here in Florida. It's not as popular as the media likes to have it out to be.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't happen as often. When a sinkhole happens, it makes worldwide news. It doesn't make local news, doesn't make national news. It makes worldwide news. That tells you how small of a chance of those sinkholes actually opening up are.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, they are dangerous. I mean, it comes from the limestone layer we have here in Florida. Underneath all the soil, we have this limestone, which is like a kitchen sponge, and the sponge is wet. And you've seen a kitchen sponge as it dries out. It gets smaller and the pockets start to develop and you can see little holes all over the place. That's kind of what's happening with the limestone underneath. So when you're not practicing good surface water retention and you're not practicing good grading and your land overall is drying out, you open up the concern for these sinkholes, which is why you get them to develop in Valrico and Riverview and Safety Harbor where they're doing a lot of development and they're not trapping the water in place or they're redirecting it all. So it's a real concern. And luckily, things don't happen just overnight. There's always warning signs. They take time to develop. There are signs you can look for. Experts can come out there and verify before you have a catastrophic failure.
And how do they do that? They're going to do some soil testing. Can you explain that a little bit more as well?
there's usually what we call 3 different tests you can do to see if you have a sinkhole. The first is going to be a visual, non-invasive test. And we come out there, we look at the property, we look for signs of sinkholes, depressions, trees sinking, fence lines sinking. Not necessarily so much with the house, but with everything else that's on the property. If your fence line's sinking into the ground and your pool is kind of sinking into the ground, you might have a problem of concern. But if it's just cracking on the side of your stucco, that can be water intrusion, that could be tree roots. So we look for a combination of signs. If we come up with a combination of signs that we think warrants further testing, then you're then looking at something called a ground penetrating radar.
Okay.
And it's a seismic test where it's called topography, which is like making a map of the underside of the soil, and they're looking for voids. And if they happen to find voids, the next series of tests is to come out there and do soil borings, where they're actually going to drill into the ground and remove a column of soil up to 40 or 50 feet deep, and then analyze what the different layers of that soil were, seeing if you're missing a layer. Because if you're missing a layer of S3 clay, when you should have it at 35 feet, that means you have a void.
Yeah.
So that's what they're testing for. They'll do all these pilot tests, and then they'll come up with a remediation plan at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. You look at that potentiality there. So if somebody's buying land, vacant land, commercial use, or even residential use, that's a good starting point, is to do the visual, do the ground penetrating radar, and then also the soil boring. Especially, and if you're building close to a lake or a body of water, there's going to be a lot of organics in the ground. You might want to look at utilizing the pier technology, where they're going to take these basically big, huge telephone poles, pop them down on the ground about 20 feet or so, and they're going to tie your foundation into that. So if you just joined us, I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. That's Leo Kane. He's Principal Project Manager, Barrel Engineering. And on the phones, we've got Julian Correa, owner of Nightspeed Moving. Welcome in.
Hey, Brandon. Good to be here. I miss being in the studio.
Yeah. Where are you at today?
I'm on the road. I actually went to South Florida. We had a meeting with a restoration company that wants to do some work with us, so I had to come down here for the day, and I'm back in Orlando tomorrow.
Nice. So you got a restoration company down there wanting to do some work with you. Making moves out there, man. I love it. The entrepreneurial spirit is alive.
Yes, sir. Trying to keep it alive every day.
Awesome, man. And so tell our listeners what makes Nightspeed Moving a little bit different.
Well, from what I understand, the discussion is based all around safety today. I mean, something that we always well, first of all, for those listeners that haven't heard from us, we basically started as a student college moving service. So the first appeal was we only hired college students to do the moving, and then I was very customer service focused. So from the very beginning, we just really tried to focus on making every customer happy. I mean, today, to keep it around safety, something that we've done is we've really beefed up our procedure. So like now there's a way bigger focus on getting things done right, avoiding damages, properly moving things, encouraging people to really consider, if they are considering moving themselves, the dangers that do go with that, and how there's certain ways of doing things. So really just heavily training the guys to be able to complete this as quickly, as safely as possible is something that we're really focusing on now as of this year. Yeah.
And your growth has been pretty neat. It's been nice to see that. You look at the Orlando, Tampa Bay markets, and you're also in South Florida.
Yeah, we're just now actually opening up the Tampa Bay markets. I mean, we've just kind of touched the tip of the iceberg there, I think. But I love the city. I mean, there's a lot of potential. It seems like real estate is growing there. A lot of people are moving in. So I'm really excited to be here, and just the opportunity to connect with you guys and all these other business owners that are in this network.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be at the home show coming up as well, the Tampa Home and Garden Show Convention Center, Tampa Convention Center. It's going to be on the August 17th, so a little ways out there, but we've got some August 17th, 18th, 19th. It's going to be the dates, but we're going to be there. You're going to have some space there with us as well. A Consumer Quarterback Show, WeBeam TV, going to be represented at the Tampa Home and Garden Show. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I can't wait.
Yeah, man. So Julian, what for our listeners over here in the Tampa Bay market, this signal goes all the way down to Fort Myers, Naples. We're up north toward the Panhandle, out to Orlando. What do you want them to know when it comes to deciding on a moving company and potentially, and of course, we want them to think about Nightspeed Moving?
Yeah, well, you want to make sure that from the very beginning, you don't have any gut feeling that they're pulling one over on you. Open communication, transparency is something that we do. So just explaining how the whole process works. It's it's one of the most labor intensive things as far as like services goes. I mean, aside from like actual construction and things like that, because it's taking, you have to. It's something that there's so many variables that each move is going to differ a lot. So a lot of times people's expectations are that like this is going to be a quick and easy job, and it turns out it's twice as long as they expected. So something that for us has worked really well is really good communication and a really good itemized explanation of why your move seems to be expensive or cost what it does, and making sure that we're communicating with you, the customer, every step of the way. Tie that with the competitive prices that we have that are slightly lower than just about any other comparable service you can find in the market, and I think that's really what we offer. That's what we bring to the table. That's different.
And being conscientious of that bait and switch that we talked about on the last show. So Julian Correa, owner, Nightspeed Moving. Hey, welcome, and thank you for calling in, buddy. I appreciate it.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Take care. All right, so that's Julian Correa, owner, Nightspeed Moving, another one of our 80-plus show partners, ConsumerQB.com. Check out our website, ConsumerQB.com. You'll see all the contact information, show cards for all of our expert contributors. And when we come back, more from John Grant, Eagle LED Lighting, Leo Kane, Principal Project Manager, Barrel Engineering, and interesting story, woman moves into a small apartment so family in need can use her family-size home. This and more from our expert contributors, Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Hey everybody, I'm Forbes Riley, celebrity TV fitness host and creator of The Spin Gym. I'm here today with Brandon Rhymes, and you're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Great ways to get happy, healthy, and wealthy.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
Enjoy tranquil seclusion in an eco-lover's paradise. Paddling through the mangroves where the only sounds you'll hear are the sounds of nature. Because you deserve to relax on vacation, visit Pasco County, Florida.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at ConsumerQB.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty, and top consumer advocate program here in Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region of Florida. We're your #1 consumer advocate, helping you understand a lot about your buying decisions out there. And we want to give a shout out to Kipton's, the Hotel Zamora on beautiful St. Pete Beach, rooftop yoga on the weekends, and Castile Restaurant is an awesome restaurant on site. You can have breakfast, lunch, or dinner at Kipton's, the Hotel Zamora, and beautiful St. Pete Beach. It's the first new hotel built in St. Pete Beach in decades. It's Spanish ancestry meets cool Mediterranean attitude, whitewashed Mediterranean palace with expansive luxury suites with balconies overlooking the intercoastal waterway. And they also have rooftop yoga on the weekends, beautiful sunsets from the rooftop, as well as Thursday they've got karaoke at the Hotel Zamora. Make sure you let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you, REQB code, and you're going to get a 15 to 20% off of your staycation in beautiful Tampa Bay. All right, let's do our top 5. We've got the top 5 best-selling books in history. John Grant, you're up first. Best-selling books.
Selling, though, see?
Top 5 best-selling books.
I mean, I assume the Bible, but you all say the Bible. Let's skip
Number
the Bible.
1.
Let's go.
That's all there is to it.
But we all knew the Bible, so it doesn't really count.
Well,
Let's
hey.
go. How about To Kill a Mockingbird?
To Kill a Mockingbird. Sorry, buddy. Good guess, though.
That is a good guess.
Yeah. Leo.
It was supposed to be movies. Anthony promised me movies.
He wants movies next time, Ant.
So I guess sticking with the movie theme, let's go with The Lord of the Rings.
Oh, there you go. You got him.
Just like that.
Lord of the Rings,
That's all there is to it.
$150 million. The author is J.R.R. Tolkien and published by Allen and Unwin. He said he'll take care of you next time. The Bible, by the way, has sold 6 billion plus copies. Author is Various and published by Various. So number 3 there on the list is gone. John Grant, back to you.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter is number 5. Good job, buddy. So Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, $107 million. J.K. Rowling just celebrated its 20th anniversary as well, published by Bloomsbury. All right, Leo, let's see how good you are. Can you get these last 2, man? It's going to be tough.
My book's not on the list?
The Barrel Engineering book? I don't think so.
Okay, let's go with, based on population, I'm going to say with the words of the chairman.
Wow, yeah, quotations from chairman. Mao Tse-tung, 900 million plus copies, and the People's Publishing House. So, yeah, based on population.
What number is that, 2?
That is number 2 on the list, yeah. That's going to be, that's Chinese, I
So
would
we got
assume.
1 left.
Yeah, so based on population, 900 million. So 1 left. Can you guess it? The $25,000 pyramid.
Don Quixote.
I am sorry about that, but number 4 on the... Go ahead, Bray. And
Well, hold
number
on.
4.
We got to guess it. What do you got?
Yeah, we got to guess her.
I have no idea, so I'm going with the Barrel Engineering and Inspection Home Maintenance Guide.
Tale of Two Cities.
Le Petit Prince, 140 million. Antoine de Saint Exup. I don't know how to pronounce
Just like
that.
that.
One.
That
Yeah.
I have
So,
book I haven't even heard
yeah. Yeah, so that sounds like a French book. So there's your top 5 books, best-selling books in history. In
Who
case
did
you
that?
wanted,
Anthony?
In case you wanted to know.
Anthony,
Yeah.
you suck.
Anthony wanted to put that together. No, that was a good one. And then we're going to do something with, did you say movies next time?
Movies or TV?
He wants movies next time.
Those are my
this-
strong suits.
This
He's got you.
decade.
He's got you. Yeah. So, all right. So we also have a party coming up, Gratitude Party, Wednesday, July 19th. If you want to check out our show, maybe become a partner, find out a little bit more about the real estate brokerage as well. 1130 4th Street North in St. Petersburg. We're going to be having a party, Gratitude Party. We're going to bring in food and drinks. Our catering partner, Juan Conchero, with Catering by the Family, is going to bring in some awesome food, and that's from 5 to 8 o'clock over at July 19th over at Cox Media Group there. We're going to have a gratitude party as well. And let's go ahead to our Tell Me Something Good segment.
Tell me something good.
Okay. A 70-year-old Dublin woman has voluntarily moved out of her 4-bedroom home and into a small apartment so that a family in need can use the family-sized home. Anne received the keys to her apartment yesterday. She has decided 2 years ago to give up her home of 40 years and allow it to be used for a new family. I think it's nice to be able to give a young family a start in life, Anne told the Journal. I don't think you should have a big house if you're on your own. I kind of felt guilty living in a big house on my own. Anne said she will miss the home she had, but was ready to move on and make new memories in her apartment. Everyone's been saying to me, don't give it back. I kept saying, it's only a house at the end of the day.
Awesome. Yeah, good story. Good story there. There's your feel-good story of the week. Any comments there, John? Leo?
That's crazy.
Any comments? So she gave the
That's
house.
pretty cool, though.
Yeah, she gave up the house, you know.
She went for a
Just
tiny home.
Yep. Yeah, that's a trend, right?
Yeah.
The tiny homes. Are you seeing those around here? I don't know. Somebody said Cape Coral. I read an article, maybe Cape Coral.
I could see Cape Coral.
Yeah, because they had a lot of vacant lots from the.
Yeah, Cape Coral was an interesting municipality. They actually built out the entire city with infrastructure, hoping that if you build it, they will build houses.
They will
and
come,
then
yeah.
the market collapsed.
Yeah, same thing. Very similar to General Development Corporation back in the 80s. My biological father was a salesman with them, and that was I learned about that because they have Port LaBelle and then they have Port Charlotte, which there was the same thing. They went in there and put a ton of infrastructure in, and then I guess back in the 80s it was the SNL crisis or something along those lines, and very similar to that. But,
I mean, it worked in the game SimCity. That's how I used to play. I put all the infrastructure in, put my
Yeah.
little tracks in, and then the houses would just pop up. But I guess it doesn't work that way in real life.
That's cool.
There was a Saturday Night Live problem back in the 80s, SNL.
SNL, yeah, it's SNL
Savings and loans.
yeah, savings and loan scandals, and so the 80s. Now
there's always something.
Yeah, there's always stuff going on.
There's stuff in the 90s and then early 2000, then again in 2008. So.
You watch the documentaries too. I watched one on the food supply and the pharmaceutical industry. It's called What the Health was the name of it. I definitely recommend it. But I decided about 3 days ago, it's been 3 days now on my diet, that I'm not eating any chicken or beef anymore. I'm going to have fish still, do my crab legs and stuff, but I went to, I guess that's vegetarian. I don't know. Is that what a vegetarian is?
Vegetarian?
No, not quite.
Not quite close to it?
No, you're close to vegetarian. You're not far from vegan.
What is it, John?
Pescatarian.
If I'm eating fish, that's not vegetarian?
It's called Eskimo.
Oh, really?
But
I
he
don't
keeps
know.
saying
I
some
just
big
look
words.
at I looked at the pork and the chicken and the beef and the way that it was produced. This documentary, you watch those documentaries, I mean, it just scares you. And there's one about water wars. We were talking about water earlier. There's one about water wars, how a lot of the rural communities, and I've talked to the farmers out there out east in the different counties, and they'll say how, the city of St. Petersburg is pulling all our water, and that's why we're having these sinkholes and different things like that. So yeah, when you talk about government, you talk about the high level game. Man, it's you get into all these.
Look at all the
things.
earthquakes in Texas
Yeah.
from all the bracking,
Right.
from the water,
from
water
the fracking,
bracking.
Yep, Close
water
enough,
jive.
right?
Cluster jive, whatever.
So yeah, you look at that, you look at those things, but here's the thing: there's the economy out there, and then there's the economy between your own ears. What can you do about it as a listener? That's what we focus on here on the Quarterback Show. So we're going to give you ideas, credit improvement, all types of different attorneys associated with our show, ways that we can help you win and help you live a better life. That's the goal of this show, is to help you. Ultimately, in the end, it's coming back to you and your daily decisions, things that you do on a daily basis to help you project yourself toward prosperity and success. Dr. Eber Banfield conducted a study that talked about, the number one determinant of success and upward social economic mobility is developing long time perspective. If you look at it, so many people have these short-minded things. They're, and the extreme example is the hopeless drunk or the drug addict that's looking for that next fix or that next drink. And then you look at, the doctors that go to school for 10, 12 years. You look at the, and even we talked about the Chinese and the different business. They plan generations in ahead whenever they're looking at a business structure. So kind of finishing the show on a bunny trail there, but I want to thank John Grant, Eagled LED Lighting, for coming in and sharing those nuggets of advice about how business owners or homeowners can increase their efficiencies with their lighting. Leo Kane as well, project manager, Barrel Engineering as well, highly respected in his space as well. Julian Correa also called in, Night Speed Moving. All of our expert contributors. Want to thank our producers behind the scenes putting the show together, the whole team, also our listeners out there, viewers of our TV show on WeBeam TV. Check out our website, consumerqb.com, and also please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness, something as simple as packing up leftover food you may have, handing it to that person that you see in need, and be a force for good in the community. Maybe donate some time, donate some money to your church, local food banks, and donate those leftover old clothing that you may have, and be a force for good in the community out there. And keep tuning in to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/ConsumerQB Show, as well as @BrandonRhymes1 on Twitter. And we'll see you next time.
You've been listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.